Hi everyone, so I'd like to show you Leadtron. Leadtron is a new website, tool, whatever you want to call it. It's available on leadtron.io, and I want to show you what you can do with this tool to get contacts for your cold reach campaigns, right? So this tool does two things. One is we got a database that you can just search for. We got 350, just over 350,000 contacts already ready and very searchable. We harvest all our data from Instagram, and the way it works is we keep the usernames, their full names, bio, URL, how many followers, how many they're following. We also have a few more details that we don't show here, like their email and the number of their posts. So you could really filter everything. If you download this list, then you would receive their emails. That's the whole point. So every account here that we got on our list is an account that we have their contact. You should still verify your emails. If you've been doing cold reach, then you know that. If not, then everything you see online, you also have to verify it, so make sure these emails don't bounce. So for example, let's say that I'm looking for photographers. So I look for people with photographer in their bio, and I also want them in, let's say, in London, right? So yeah, photographer London. So I'll make sure that the logical operator here is and, meaning it's not enough that one of the words this way is just any one of these words. It's like this or this or this or this or this. But if I put and, it means it's gotta match this and gotta match this. And let's say that I don't want the word photo shoot. No, for example. Basically, we support negative search as well. So, you could still say, I don't know, if I would be searching here, it doesn't make sense, but if I would be searching for photo, and then I can say, I don't want photography, I just want photographer. But this is going to be much better just putting photographer. Hope that makes sense. And then just going about it. So I'll hit the search button. So it's found 1,600, just almost 1,700 results. You can export these and see their emails. It'll just give you a CSV file, so you can open it in Excel, or you can upload it to your cold reach software. Now, this is one thing that we do. So the database grows day by day as long as people use it. If you need more than 1,600, which I'm sure most of you marketers will do, then you have the option to scrape yourself more entries to the database. And first of all, I'll show you my scrape history, so you can see your past scrapes here. So here, for example, I was looking for dental clinics. So I'll click on view, and you can see that I scraped just over 4,000 usernames, and out of them 3,333, which is a pretty cool number, matched against 743 that weren't matched. And as any scraper knows, sometimes the connection just fails. So you can still export this list and then just filter out the not found ones and rescrape them if you want to. How it works, let me show you. So you click on scrape. You can either upload a file with usernames of Instagram, and then we would quickly fetch all their information, see if we can get their email, and then put them in the database. Or if you don't know how to do that and you're a total beginner, which is exactly what this tool is for, this is the most used option here, find. So you can just start harvesting for, so let's say I want photographer. Now let me explain a little bit how this works. Every search will never get you more than 1,000 people. Sometimes less, sometimes 500. It depends. The way we gather the information, when you make a query, even when you scrape, you don't get more than that. Most search engines or websites will not give you more than these kind of results. Even though if there's like 3 million results, they won't actually let you see all of them to protect against scraping. So I'll show you first what happens when you just go photographer. Right, so we got about 910 results. And what you can do now, these are just a list of usernames, right? That's a scrape. And then what you can do now is actually inspect each one of them and put them in the database and see if they got their emails. So I'll click on search here so you see what's happening. And as you can see, it's getting, a lot of them do have their emails, which is great. Yeah, we're just getting all the details. At the same time, it's being inserted into the database. If there's anyone that we already have in the database, it skips. That's why this number is not going up too far. I mean, too fast. So, you know, we let this one finish. You can still, you know, this is processing. You can still do another scrape and another one and another one. So that's the cool thing about it. We got a really good queuing system. So let's say that I want more than 1,000. So if I'll just search for photographer again, I'll get the same usernames probably. So what we do is, let me show you an example. All right. If I'll search for photographer, this is just to show you how it works. If I'll search for photographer on Instagram, then, you know, they're showing me 46 million results. They're not going to show me, if I see 100 a page, they're not going to show me more than 300, for example. We don't use Google, but I mean, we do, and we use other things as well. So as you can see, every search engine limits you. So what we do is we say, right, so every time we search, we'll search for a different type of photographer just to get, or, you know, you can variate this basically by, you know, just names. Let's say that we just want photographers called Robert, right? So we only get 17,000. Still, you know, I'll just get 300 here, but still I can just do loads of these type of searches and get 300 and 300 and 300 and 300. And they're very fast if I create combinations. So the basic way to do it is I can just pour names here, you know, loads of names. If I want to focus on females, then I'll just get a list of female names, male names. I could not even focus on names. I can just go, you know, London, Paris, Berlin, and so on. Now, still, it's not going to give you a lot of results. If you want to get like tens of thousands of results, what we have is we have our resource Google Sheet. So at the moment, we keep updating this on a daily basis. And to be honest, I personally have huge lists. We're just curating them into this file at the moment. So we have a list of all the countries in the world. We have a list of all the capitals in the world, female names, Western names, Western male names, Europe, countries in Europe, capitals in Europe, cities in Australia. These are just from campaigns that I've done. Emojis, which are a great. So for example, let's look for photography. Yeah, there you go. So you know, light and video. So that's the category here. So let's say I take all of these kind of emojis, whatever, right? And I can just stick them here. That means I've already created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 19. So 19 different variations. So it's going to go photographer and this. So essentially, the search we did earlier, just be like that instead, right? So give us less results. So if I go back here and do a search, obviously it will take a bit longer. So we got less results here. Well, less than expected. These are already different than the first ones we had. And it's probably because these emojis are not that relevant for photography, but because I'm just doing it randomly. So here's another thing. Sometimes these they do look like photographers, but sometimes when you scrape, you're not always going to get relevant results. That's why we also have a filter here. So as it gets their details, we can also still limit and say, right, we're getting all the details, which is fine. We're putting it in the database so they're searchable later, but I still want to make sure that for me, I just get the ones with photographer in them, right? or the URL, if they got a URL or stuff like that, or you could put a filter or minimum amount of followers and stuff like that. So let's say that now I want photographers with at least 20,000 followers from this list. So I'll click on search now and let's see what happens. So it's going to show me in white those who matched, and it will show me in yellow those who were not matched. There you go. And bear in mind, because I've got a heavy filtering here, only those with 20,000. So I'm still getting some accounts matching. That means they have the word photographer in their bio and they got more than 20,000 followers, which is pretty cool. The other scrape has finished already. So yeah, a lot of photographers. You can always see the list. All right. So let me give you another example. Let's say that we really want to get serious about photographers. We don't really care where they're from on the planet. We just need a huge list. So I can go here and choose a more serious variable. For example, let's go capitals of the world. Okay, these are many. So there's 47 here. So 47 different searches. Plus we can go for names as well. So that's going to make it more interesting because let's go female names. Okay, whatever. So I've got 1,000 names here. So now this is going to be much more it's going to take a longer time because these are 1,000 names multiplied by the 47 options here. So we're literally going to have 47,000 searches here. So that's going to be for example, photographer Amsterdam Eve, photographer Amsterdam Cameron, photographer. So it's going to go through each combination. It's going to create all the possible combinations and then search all of them. Obviously this process is going to take a long time. I'm not going to run it all the way, but let me run it a little bit just to see that we're getting our results. And important to say also, with large searches, because you have all these combinations, there's going to be a lot of combinations that are going to yield no results. So this might seem like it's getting less results because it's moving really slow, but you just let it run. You leave it for, I think, half an hour or something like that, maybe even more, because there's a lot of searches and it just does what it does, and eventually you get your results. Right, so I stopped it after a little bit, but as you can see, if we let it run, it's probably going to get a lot of results. Again, we got to protect ourselves from getting results that are not relevant. So photographer, probably have a lot of photographers because that's what I've been using for the demos. But you can literally do this. Imagine, keywords like founder, if you want people that own businesses, entrepreneur, dancers, comedians, musicians, anything that people might write on their bio on Instagram. You can filter, you can search and filter by, and that's it. Hope you like this demo. The system is a credit-based system, so it's free to join, and you can just buy your credits and then download. As long as you have credits, you can download. That's it. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you on our platform.